So welcome to the Unwind series with the Positive Birth Company. These amazing sessions have been running every weeknight at 9 p.m. for the last 4 weeks, and there's been some amazing sessions, sound healing and meditation, and tonight we'll be going through a really gentle, slow yin practice to just help you relax and release any stresses that you've been carrying through the day and just get ready for a really good night's sleep. So if you're just joining me, just make sure that you find a nice comfortable space to practice in, whether that's on your mat or even on your bed, or just somewhere that's really comfortable, that you'll have enough space to stretch out, that you're nice and warm. So make sure that you've got a blanket or a pillow, have a few pillows if you've got them to just support yourself, especially if you're pregnant, just so that you can really cushion yourself and make yourself feel really supported through the practice. We don't want to be pushing too hard. We want to be moving our bodies and opening up and creating space, but making sure that we're nice and comfortable in the process. And just take a moment to just check your space, make sure that it's feeling really comfortable, that it's not too bright. And if you've got any favorite room sprays or candles, you can just take a moment to light them. Or if you want to put on your favorite music, just something really gentle in the background, then just take a couple of moments to do that while we just wait for a few more people to join. My name's Sophia. I'm a yin yoga, paddleboard yoga teacher, and you can find me at barefoot_wandering on Instagram. It's a really big pleasure to be here. So thank you so much to the Positive Birth Company for organising these amazing sessions. We'll just take a couple more minutes just while everyone finds their way. Okay, so if you want to, just start to slowly make your way to your space. So coming to your mat or to your bed, wherever you're going to practice, and just finding yourself nice and comfortable. We're going to start the practice by lying down. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. It's only just gone 9 o'clock, so I'm just allowing everybody to kind of catch up with us as they come in. But if you want to, and please feel free to come all the way down onto your backs right now and just extend your legs, find your space, and just take a moment to lengthen out your legs. Take them a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Lower yourself down nice and gently. If you are pregnant and it doesn't feel good to lie on your back, then feel free to stay seated or come down into the fetal position or anything that feels good. And so just taking a moment to just really ground down at the beginning of the class. So extending your legs, lengthening up through to the top of the head. Find some space in the back of your neck and soften your shoulders down into the mat. And then finding your hands, you can either have your palms facing up towards the ceiling, or if it feels comfortable, bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. And just take a moment to just check in with your body, to start to notice the sensations in your body, how everything's feeling. Taking a moment of stillness to just notice. Notice the pace of your breath. Notice if you're holding tension in your jaw or in your shoulders. And see if you can just start to find some softness here. Notice the back of your body connecting down into the ground or into your mattress, and just see if you can allow it to become a little bit heavier, sinking down. And then bringing your awareness to your breath, we'll start to draw the breath out a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, drawing it in through the nose, filling up your chest and then filling up all the way into your belly. So really starting to expand into the front of the body. And then as you exhale, softening and letting go, releasing that breath, and as you let it go, letting go of any tension that you might be holding. A big inhale to fill up, create that space, expand into the front of your body. And as you exhale, once again, letting go, releasing and softening. We'll just take a few more of these big grounding breaths, starting to connect that feeling of expansion with the inhale, and the feeling of softness with the exhale. Beautiful, just a few more big breaths, just taking a few moments to really arrive into your body, into this space, letting go of everything else that's happening, and just being fully focused on the present moment. Really nice. Let's do one more big breath. And then as you're ready, very slowly, keeping the eyes closed if that feels good, just start to take your arms up over your head and just take a full body stretch. So reaching down into your toes and all the way up into your fingertips. Take a nice big breath and see if you can find even more length on the inhale. And as you exhale, softening down the back of your body. On your next inhale, just very gently start to lift your knees. And we're going to make our way up nice and softly, rolling over onto your side and just coming all the way up onto all fours. So finding yourself with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, so making that nice square box. And then we're going to tuck the toes underneath, so we're finding some space through the soles of the feet. Take a moment to just spread your fingers, so create as much space as you can between your first finger and thumb. Make sure that your middle finger is facing forward towards the front of your mat, and just ground down through your fingertips, very gently drawing your belly button in, so we're just finding that long straight spine. And we're just going to start by moving through some really gentle cat-cows. So as you inhale, we're just going to start to drop the belly, gently draw the chest through your arms and open through your throat. Taking the gaze up. As you exhale, gently tucking your tailbone, press into your palms and take your gaze back towards your belly button. Inhale to drop the belly, moving nice and slowly, drawing the chest forward and opening the throat. Exhale, tuck and round, press into the back of your body, finding that nice round spine. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze comes forward. Maybe we take it all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck and round. So moving nice and slowly, just connecting the breath with the movement. Starting this class by just finding a little bit of mobility through the spine. Inhale to come forwards. Exhale to round. We'll just do this 2 more times. Inhale, dropping the belly, drawing the heart through your arms. Exhale, press the ground away, tuck your tailbone under, gaze back towards your belly button. Really nice. As you inhale now, just coming back through a neutral spine. And we're just going to start to walk the hands back and come back to seated on our heels. So keeping the toes tucked under as long as that feels comfortable for you. Just take a moment to soften your shoulders down your back. Find some space through your neck. Close your eyes if this feels comfortable and just start to feel the sensations in the soles of your feet. If this feels like it's too much and there's any kind of pain, Then just softening, coming out, bring your weight into your knees, or even bring your hands down to the mat. Just start to notice that stretch and lengthening through the soles of their feet. Just taking a moment to take a few big breaths here. Noticing the area that it feels really tight. Notice if it feels challenging through your toes or through the arch of your foot. And see if you can just find a little bit of softness. Let's just take one more big breath. Really nice. And then very gently untucking the tops of your feet. So bringing the tops of your feet down, releasing your toes, and just taking your heels, your hips back to your heels. Just take a nice big breath here. And then we're going to start to make our way into our child's pose. So keeping your big toes connected, taking your knees out nice and wide. So really creating some space between your knees. And from here, we're just going to start to walk the torso forward. So walking your hands, keeping your chest lifted, especially if you have a big bump and you're practicing while you're pregnant, then just keeping that space there, no need to put too much pressure down. And then we're just going to start to walk our hands all the way over to the left side of the mat. And then just start to soften down. So we're finding space now through the right side of the body. If it feels comfortable, you can rest your head down on a bolster, on a pillow. If you've got a yoga block, feel free to bring your forehead down onto your yoga block. And just find some softness here in a way that you can relax the back of the neck, but you're not having to hold too much tension. And we just want to try to find that space through the right side of the body. So we're gently pressing the right hip back and lengthening up into the right fingertips, creating space through the lateral side of the body, opening up. Make sure that you're being really gentle with yourself. We're not trying to go to the deepest expression of the pose. We're just trying to find just a little bit of space in the body. And if it feels good, just closing your eyes, allowing yourself to soften down here into the pose. Breathing into the right side of the body, creating space between the ribs and the hip, finding that length. Breathing all the way up into the fingertips. With each inhale, expanding down into the belly. And with each exhale, softening and allowing the torso to rest. If at any point it feels like it's too much, if it feels like there's any kind of discomfort or pain, or sharp sensations, then really listening to your body, feel free to come out, to rest, and to just ease out of the pose. Really, really listening to your body here. And just finding somewhere where you can find stillness so that you're not pushing yourself beyond where you need to be. And then just settling there, softly allowing your body to melt into the shape. Just take a few more big breaths here. One more really big inhale, filling up. And a full exhale as we soften and release. Really nice. And so just gently lifting your torso back up. You're just going to walk back through the center, resting down onto your forearms or allowing the forehead to come down to the mat. So just take a couple of breaths in the center of our child's pose, allowing the hips to continue to soften back towards the heels, but just finding the spine back, Finding the symmetrical pose and just allowing the body to rest here for a moment. And then we'll very slowly start to come to the second side. So walking your hands all the way over to the right. Again, using your pillow or your block underneath your forehead. Anything that you need to find yourself supported here. If you've got a bolster or a pregnancy pillow, works really well. Bringing that underneath your chest so that you can soften down. And continuing to find that reach up into the left hand. So now we're finding space through from the left hip all the way up the side of the body up into the left fingertips. Continuing to soften the hips back and breathing space down into the belly. So if at any point you feel like you haven't got space to breathe deeply, to fill up, then again just easing out. And so just closing your eyes here, focusing your awareness on your breath. With your eyes closed, just bringing your awareness to the space between your eyes. Really, really beautiful. So just sitting in that stillness, allowing the body to melt down into the pose. Not pushing or forcing or going too far, but just softly supported by your cushions, by your bolster. Finding space through the left side of the body and softening the hips back towards the heels. Really beautiful. We'll just take a couple more big breaths. And then moving really softly with yourself as you lift up out of your child's pose. Come back through the center, moving as gently and as slowly as you can. And just releasing your hips to the side, swinging your legs through to the front, and again coming down into a resting pose. So choosing what feels good for you, whether that's to come all the way down onto your back or onto your side, into the fetal position. Just taking a moment to just pause and allow your body to integrate, to absorb, and to just settle back before we move into the next pose. So just a couple of really big breaths here. Feeling all the sensations. Maybe you can feel the tingling as the blood rushes back into your feet, into your toes, re-energizing your legs. Beautiful. One more big breath. And then moving nice and slowly, we'll ease our way back up. So rolling over onto your side, easing all the way up. We're going to come into a wide leg seated position. So just nice and softly extending your legs out to the side. We'll come into our dragonfly. So just bending your left knee and bringing the sole of the foot to the inside edge of your thigh. And then there's lots of variations here depending on how you're feeling this evening, depending if you're practicing when you're pregnant. Just finding the variation that feels good for you. So maybe it feels good to just simply fold forward. So just walk your hands forwards and allow your torso to melt down towards the ground. Softening your elbows and keeping the back of your neck long. Or maybe it feels good here to come into a gentle twist. So with the left leg bent, we want to bring the right hand to the outside edge of the right knee. And just start to, of the left knee, sorry, and just start to bend and extend through the left side of your body. Bringing the left hand to your lower back, so we're opening the shoulder and just allowing your right shoulder to extend towards your leg. So finding that gentle twist, being really mindful here, really nice and gentle. Again, really nice to use your bolster, to use your pillow, to just support yourself. Maybe you even want to bend this arm and support your head so that you're not having to hold your neck, but you've just got this gentle twist. So finding that variation, have a little moment to just find what feels good in your body. Maybe this feels good, or maybe you want to come back through the forward fold, keeping it nice and simple. But again, we should find this nice space through the hips. And if you're in the twist, we're just very gently trying to open up through the lateral side of the body. We don't want to take it too far. Beautiful big breaths, making sure that you're breathing down into your belly. Big expansive inhales, drawing that breath in and filling up. And then as you exhale, just finding a little bit more softness as you settle into the pose, into the shape, allowing your body to melt. And again, just making sure that you're not forcing anything, that everything is nice and soft. If you feel you're having to hold any tension in your neck and shoulders, then just release this arm. If you feel like that's not far enough and you want to take this a little bit further, feel free to not use a bolster or a pillow. And you can bring your shoulder all the way down onto your leg and maybe even extend the arm up towards your toes. But just finding a variation that feels good for you. Don't feel like you need to take it any further than what your body is asking for. Beautiful. Just take a couple more big breaths here. Really nice. One more full inhale and complete exhale. And then releasing as you inhale, coming up really mindfully and just noticing the sensations in your lower back. Just take a moment, maybe extending both legs, maybe bringing both hands to your belly, closing your eyes and just taking a nice big breath. Melt your shoulders down your back, away from your ears. Really nice. And then slowly coming to the second side, bring your bend your right knee and bring the sole of the foot to the inside edge of your left thigh. And then again, choose your variation. Try to do the same variation that you did on the other side, unless there's something that makes that uncomfortable. Maybe you just want to walk your fingertips forward and settle down into a forward fold, finding that space through the hamstring and into the hips. And if you do want to take it into the twist, so just bringing your left hand to the outside edge of your right knee, and just starting to extend your torso over the left leg. Bringing that hand to the lower back, and then maybe just releasing your arm and propping your head up so that you can feel really supported here. You should feel a really nice gentle twist in your lumbar spine and opening up through the side of the body. Again, using anything that you need to make this comfortable. We really don't want to take it too far at the end of the day. We just want to be really nice and gentle and soft with our body, just creating some space, but we're not pushing or forcing ourselves somewhere that we don't need to go. Really, really nice. And then maybe closing your eyes, making sure that you're not holding any unnecessary tension in your jaw, in your forehead, in your neck. Finding softness here and breathing into your belly. Notice where you feel this pose. Notice if there's anywhere that's particularly sticky. And just breathe into that space. See if with each exhale you can release just a tiny bit more of that tension. You can allow it to melt away with the exhale. Last few big breaths here, settling in. Notice if your body has created a little bit of space and you want to go just a little bit deeper. Again, if you feel like you want to take it to a fuller expression, then feel free to release your hands or take a hold of the toes. If you're pregnant, don't need to go that far, just being really nice and gentle. Really nice big inhales and full exhales. One more big breath. And then very slowly starting to lift back up out of the pose, finding your spine nice and tall. And bringing the soles of both your feet together to create a butterfly through your legs. Just take a moment with the spine extended, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Again, maybe you're connecting in by bringing your hands to your belly and to your heart, closing your eyes and just finding softness. Beautiful. And then we're going to very slowly start to lower down. So keeping your legs as they are in the butterfly, soles of the feet together. And then just gently allow your big toes to roll open. So the soles of your feet to open like the pages of a book. And we're just going to lower ourselves all the way down onto our backs. Now feel free to use something if you would like to support your back here. So we're just going to ease our way down. Maybe this is enough. So we've just got this nice lifting. You don't want to come into too deep of a back bend. Or maybe you want to allow your head to come all the way down. If you haven't got a block or a bolster, then coming all the way down onto your back. And just softening down into your butterfly. Allowing your knees to rest towards the ground, soles of the feet opening towards the ceiling. And then we can either allow the backs of the hands to rest on the ground, the palms to be open, or we can connect the first finger and thumb and just connect them in just below the belly button. So connecting in bringing your awareness inwards, connecting into your belly. And again, just making sure that you're not going too far in this pose. If you feel any kind of cramping or pain or strong sensations in your hips, then maybe just supporting yourself slightly with some pillows underneath your legs, making sure that you're not going too deep into the hips. Keeping your eyes closed here, keeping your jaw nice and soft, and just finding those big, beautiful breaths filling up your belly. And as you exhale, allowing the back of your body to melt down, becoming heavier into the ground. Really nice, slow, considered breaths, just making sure that your inhale is just as long as your exhale, and your breaths are really nice and even. And maybe you even start to notice just that tiny pause at the top of your breath. And then as you exhale, noticing that moment at the very bottom of your breath. Maybe you start to just draw those out a little bit, so that each breath becomes longer. Just becoming really aware of all of the sensations. Notice how your body is feeling. Notice if there's anywhere you can find just a little bit more softness. And if at any point you find your mind wandering, just bring your awareness back to your inhales and your exhales. Noticing the breath as you draw it in, the expansion through your chest and through your belly. And the exhale as you let it go, allowing it to take with it anything that you don't need to be holding on to. Any tension or stresses or worries, just allow them to melt away with the exhale. Beautiful. Just take a couple more big breaths here. One last full inhale. And complete exhale. And then we're going to very, very slowly release. So maybe you just want to bring your hands to the outside edges of your legs and draw your knees in. And just take a moment, take a nice big breath here. And slowly start to extend the legs, coming down into our Shavasana, our resting pose. And again, just being really mindful if lying on your back doesn't feel good for you in this moment, then coming onto your side, finding the fetal position, or maybe just propping yourself up ever so slightly with a pillow, so making sure that you find a way that you can really rest. If you've got something to cover your eyes, that's a really beautiful way of just helping you switch off. Allowing your toes to melt out to the side, your palms to be open to the ceiling. Maybe just gently drawing your shoulder blades towards each other and creating space in your chest for your heart to lift up. And lengthening through the back of your neck. We'll take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, just letting go if it feels good, sighing through your mouth and just fully releasing. And just allowing your breath to soften, to find its own natural rhythm. Allowing your body to become heavy, sinking down, into the mats. Just gently drawing your awareness down, softening your toes, softening the soles of your feet and your heels, relaxing your ankles and your shins, your calves, your knees, relaxing your thighs, your hips, softening your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, softening your belly, your chest, relaxing your fingers, the backs of your hands and your palms, softening your wrists and your forearms, your elbows, your biceps and your triceps, softening your shoulders, the back of your neck and your throat, softening your jaw, your lips and your tongue, your cheeks and your ears, softening the back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead, softening your eyebrows, your eyelids, the space between your eyes, and just very gently going inwards, relaxing your mind. Very slowly start to bring some awareness back into your body. Take a nice, deep, full body breath. Start to find some very gentle movement through your fingers, through your toes. And when you feel ready, just taking your arms all the way up over your head, just taking a full body stretch, reaching up into your fingers and down into your toes. Take a big inhale, find space, lengthen up into your fingers. And as you exhale, softening. On your next inhale, just gently drawing your knees up into your body, rolling over onto your side. And just very gently making your way all the way back up to seated. So just finding a nice comfortable seated position. Just take a moment to find the spine nice and tall, to soften your shoulders away from your ears. Bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly, and we'll just take one final full breath together. Inhaling through the nose, filling up. And as you exhale, softening. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. And a huge thank you to the Positive Birth Company for organising these amazing sessions. You can find all the sessions from the last 4 weeks on the Positive Birth Company YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you check them all out, and you can find me at barefoot_wandering on Instagram. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for joining.